The Property Pod. Welcome to The Property Pod with Moneyweb. The property sector is an ever-changing sector, and in this podcast series, your host Suren Naidu chats to movers and shakers in the property industry.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of The Property Pod, South Africa's premier property investor podcast. My name is Suren Naidu, and on this weekly podcast show, we gain insider insights from leading execs, analysts, developers, and estate agents in SA's expansive property industry. Pam Golding Properties, the Cape Town-based real estate agency giant, recently punted the blue flag beaches on the south coast of KZN as a factor to consider in the property market in this part of South Africa. The South Coast has been somewhat overshadowed by the North Coast over the last decade or two in terms of property. The reason PGP's media release on the South Coast beaches caught my interest recently is that we've had quite a lot of coverage of Cape Town and the North Coast property markets booming in recent years. Both have benefited strongly from semigration, and the last time a guest on the pod commented about the North Coast, we had a Moneyweb reader and podcast listener from the South Coast, I gather, sending an email to me saying it's not just happening there. There's things happening on the South Coast too. So on this podcast today, I have Mohamed Amra of Pam Golding Properties, who is area principal for Port Shepstone and Margate, to share some of his local market insights. Welcome to the Property Pod, Mohamed.
Thanks for having me, Suren.
You run PGP's offices in that part of the world. Can you share with us how important the beaches are to the South Coast property market? I know it's a holiday season and peak letting season, as it were, which is upon us, but PGP is punting the blue flag beaches there, I see.
Yes, Suren, the beaches are vitally important to the South Coast property market, and it's been like that for many years previous to the North Coast coming up. They are the main attraction for tourists and holidaymakers, and they also play a major role in the area's lifestyle appeal. The blue flag beaches are particularly important as they are seen as an indicator for the quality of the water and beach facilities. This can have a significant impact on the property sales and property values as well, as buyers are willing to pay more for properties that are close to a blue flag beach. In addition to lettings, in the peak holiday season, the beaches also generate income for the local economy through tourism. Tourists spend money on accommodation, food, activities, and other goods and services. This helps to support the local businesses and create jobs. So then overall, the beaches are a major asset to the South Coast property market. They attract buyers and investors, generate income for local economy, and contribute to the area's lifestyle appeal.
Well, thanks for that. Historically, the South Coast had quite a big following from Gautengers coming to the South Coast to holiday. They used to call them Valis back then. How is the residential property market doing on the South Coast currently? I understand as it's still a case of most buyers being from Gauteng.
Yeah, funny you say that. That term Valis has been coined and it's been there for a while. So they still referred as Valis by the locals. Yeah, look, the residential property market is currently showing signs of recovery with a notable upswing in sales activity in 2023. The resurgence is particularly apparent in August, with certain areas experiencing strong activity. This is being driven by a number of factors. Yes, Gauteng remains the primary source of buyers, but there is also a growing number of semi-migrants from other parts of South Africa and also overseas. The South Coast is still a relatively affordable place to buy property, Suren, especially compared to Cape Town and North Coast. The South Coast offers that relaxed lifestyle, obviously with the beautiful beaches, stunning scenery, and a variety of outdoor activities as well. Several South Coast beaches are blue flag beaches and boosted the area's appeal for buyers from Gauteng and other parts. The average selling price for residential property on the South Coast is currently around R1 million. However, there is a wide range of prices depending on the location, size, and condition of the property. For example, you're looking at a small beachfront apartment may sell for around 500,000, while a large luxury home with sea views may sell for over 5 million, significantly cheaper than other parts of the country. Suren, the outlook for the South Coast property market is positive. The area is expected to continue to benefit from migration, affordability, and the lifestyle appeal. Beaches are also likely to continue to attract buyers and investors. As a result, property prices are expected to continue to rise in the coming years.
Thanks for that. I'm told there are several things happening or on the go in terms of development. Some of these are higher up the coast, the likes of Renishop Coastal Precinct we've covered, I think, last year. But the lower South Coast, can you tell us what are some of the new developments and major projects that could influence the property market to take note of outside the blue flag beaches?
Yes, some of the new developments and major projects on the lower South Coast is Serenity Hills. This is a 1,300 hectare mixed-use development located just outside of Port Shepstone. The project will include residential component, a commercial component, a leisure component. The first phase of the development is already underway and is expected to be completed by 2025. The other one we have is Bahari Bay. This is a 200 hectare beachfront development located in Shelley Beach. The project will include also a residential component, a commercial component. They're also looking at a hotel component, and construction is expected to start in 2024. We also have started the Port Shepstone Mall. This is a 550 million rand shopping mall development that is expected to be completed in 2024, October 2024. The mall will have 30,000 square meters of retail space and will serve as the primary service hub for the Port Shepstone district. And then the main one is the N2 Wild Coast Road project. This is a 10 billion rand road upgrade project that is expected to be completed in 2025. The project will improve the accessibility to South Coast and reduce travel times between Durban and Port St. John's. So then I think we need to have a separate podcast on this topic itself, the N2 Wild Coast Road, because there's so much to discuss about that. Obviously, we have the Margate Airport upgrade. This is a 11 million rand airport upgrade project that has already been completed. The upgrade surely will improve the airport's facilities and make it more attractive to airlines coming from other parts of the country. These are just a few of the many new developments and major projects that are taking place on the lower South Coast. These projects are expected to have significant impact on the area's economy and lifestyle appeal.
Thanks for that insight, Mohammed. I know you mentioned semigration, but I thought it's interesting because one of the reasons the North Coast has boomed, recently we had an update on that whole Club Med development that's happening there, is the development of King Shaka International Airport. And that's further away from the South Coast now because historically the Durban airport in south of Durban was the main international airport in KZN. It's interesting you mentioned the Margate Airport. Do you know if SEME is still flying there? Because if they're upgrading that, then that is a good sign for the smaller feeder airlines, as it were, to fly into Margate and the South Coast.
Yeah, SEME is still flying there. Sorry, last I remember this still flying there.
Mohammed, the water issues and municipal service delivery, are these things getting better on that front on the South Coast? I know there were some water issues recently.
Let me just touch base on your first point, Suren, regarding the KZN South Coast semigration trend. While the North Coast has been a popular destination for semigrants from Gauteng, the South Coast is becoming increasingly attractive due to the affordability. The KZN South Coast is also home to as we mentioned, the several blue flag beaches. which is a major draw for the semigrants. Remember that blue flag beaches are internationally recognized for their cleanliness and water quality. The designation is seen as a mark of prestige and can have a significant impact on people making decisions regarding semigrating. The South Coast also within easy driving distance of King Shaka. It is further away, but if you look, it's just plus minus 100 k's north of South Coast. This makes it relatively easy for semigrants from Gauteng and other parts of South Africa to visit and also retire in the area. Remember, the cost of living on the South Coast is significantly lower than in Gauteng and Cape Town. This is a major advantage for semigrants, especially on a fixed income. People hybrid working now, they can live in the South Coast and work in Joburg, reducing their income, reducing their expenses. The South Coast also offers that relaxed lifestyle, stunning scenery, lots of outdoor activities. This is appealing to semigrants, and these are decisions what they make when making the decision of semigrating. Also, as I mentioned, King Shaka is only 100 k's. This makes it relatively easy for semigrants from Gauteng. Overall, Suren, the KZN South Coast is a great option for semigrants who are looking for affordability. The area is, as I mentioned, increasingly popular with people from Gauteng. Also, we see that there's a lot of semigration coming from areas like the rural towns of Bizana, Flagstaff, Lusigisi. We have 3 private hospitals, good schools. So that's also attracting a lot to the South Coast.
Well, that's good to hear, especially, I was going to conclude on the blue flag beaches just because it also is a key point of this chat. But they, with the issues in Durban, many people tend to think when it comes to KZN, it's about Durban and the North Coast. So it's, definitely a case, especially with the water challenges following the floods in KZN that seem to have affected Durban and the North Coast a little bit more than the South Coast. Coming back to that water issue question, how is service delivery on the South Coast? Are things changing?
Look, Suren, water issues and municipal service deliveries on the KZN South Coast has been a long-standing challenge, with residents often experiencing water shortages, infrastructure problems, poor services from their local municipality. However, there have been some recent improvements in both areas, Suren. The KZN, remember that the South Coast is a water-stressed region and has been exacerbated by climate change and population growth in recent years. There have been several severe droughts in the area which have led to water shortages and restrictions. However, there have been some positive developments in recent years. Like the Ugu District Municipality, which is responsible for water and sanitation services on the South Coast, has developed a water and sanitation master plan, which outlines plans for improving water security and infrastructure. The municipality has also been investing in new water sources, such as desalination plants and boreholes. There has also been a focus on water conservation, with municipality educating residents on how to save water. As a result of these efforts, there has been a noticeable improvement in the water situation on the South Coast. In recent years, water shortages are less frequent and there have been fewer water restrictions. However, there is still more work to be done, Suren, and the KZN South Coast remains a water-stressed region. Regarding municipal service delivery on the KZN South Coast, it has been a challenge in recent years. Residents have often complained about poor service from their local municipalities, such as unreliable water, electricity supplies, uncollected refuse, and the poor road maintenance. However, there have been some improvement in recent years. The Ugu District Municipality has developed a service delivery improvement plan, which outlines plans for improving municipal services. The municipality has also been working to improve its financial management and governance. There has also been a focus on community engagement, which we part of, with municipality working to involve residents and decision makers. As a result of these efforts, there has been a noticeable improvement in municipal service delivery on the South Coast in recent years. Look, residents are reporting fewer problems with water and electricity supplies. However, there is still more work to be done, and there are still some areas where municipal service delivery is not up to scratch. Overall, there have been some improvements, and still lots of work to be done and some challenges that need to be overcome.
Thanks for that, Mohammed. I remember what I wanted to say earlier. While a lot of focus is on the North Coast, the South Coast, if you go a few decades back, had quite a bit of investment from the likes of even Sanlam, because Sanlamia gets its name from the Sanlam Group because they were involved in the initial development of that coastal estate, as it were. So before you go, any concluding remarks, Mohammed?
So the question you asked about the floods. Look, KZN is a coastal province, and that offers a diverse range of experience beyond Durban and the North Coast. The South Coast in particular stands out with a unique blend of natural beauty. Suren, you should know that coming from KZN, affordability, relaxed lifestyle. So we have areas now where we have protected areas such as Kumas Valley Nature Reserve, Orobi Gorge Reserve. So good places to visit. And in conclusion, I think South Coast stands apart from its unique combination of natural beauty, affordability, and it's emerging as a potential player in KZN. It offers a compelling alternative to the more crowded and expensive North Coast, catering to those seeking a tranquil coastal escape with a touch of modern development.
Thank you, Mohammed. That's all the time we have for. That was Pam Golding Properties Area Principal for Port Shepstone and Margate, Mohammed Amra, speaking to us.
Thanks for listening to the Moneyweb Property Pod with Suren Naidu. To listen to more episodes, go to moneyweb.co.za or the Moneyweb app and follow Moneyweb News for daily updates. Follow Suren on Twitter @Suren Naidu for more of his property industry content and other business stories. The Property Pod.